So hello everyone and welcome back again to Junkyard Summit. Today's video is a quick look and a quick review of one of Asus's A320M motherboard. So what I have here is the EX A320M Gaming. So this is a micro ATX form factor that is on socket AM4 and on A320 chipset. The main reason that I went for this is first, this is one of the few A320 boards that has support for 4 DIMMs of memory. So you can have 4 sticks of RAM here. And at the same time, this is, I think, one of the 2 motherboards that have VRM heatsinks for its VRM cooling. So with that, let us go what's inside with in the box. So opening the box, we have the back I/O plate, we have SATA cables, this is the M.2 standoffs and screws, and what we have here now is the board itself. So you can see it has a red finish, and under here we have the manuals and the installation CDs. So here we have the motherboard itself. So again, this is on a micro ATX form factor. This supports Ryzen's 1st gen, 2nd gen, as well as APUs, all generations of APUs for the AM4 socket. And at the same time, this has 3 fan headers, 1 for the CPU and 2 for your fan or AIO. And this has again support for 4 sticks of RAM. So I think the max for this one is 64 gigs, so you can have 4 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. And as for the power connection, we have 124 and 18-pin power connector. For our PCIe slot, we have one PCIe 3x16. So this will run on an X8 mode if you are running on an APU. So we also have a PCIe 2x1 and a PCIe Gen 2x4. Then as for storage, we have 4 SATA ports. This is the 6 gigabit one. We also have support for M.2 drives. This supports both NVMe as well as SATA-based M.2 drives. Going to our back I/O, we have PS2 ports for your keyboard and mouse. For our display input, we have DVI and HDMI. We also have, again, 4 USB 3.0 as well as 2 USB 2. We also have 1 Realtek gigabit LANs. I think this is the 8111H model, and as well as our audio is from Realtek 2. So going back again to our motherboard, I forgot to mention that this has 1 USB 3.0 front header as well as USB 2 front header connection. As for our VRM setup, this supports a 4x4+2 power facing. What's good about this board is the 4+2 setup of this is similar to most of Asus's B350 VRM setup. So for our controller, we have the ASP1106GCQW, and as for our MOSFETs, we have, for the high sides are the 4C09B, and for the low sides is the 40C6B. Again, this is what you can find in most of their B350 motherboards. So in theory, you could even run a 3900X here. And again, the VRM heatsink is really not that thick, as you can see here, but I think this is much better than having no heatsinks at all. Then what else? Oh, by the way, this one lights up, so you can control this on Asus's Aura lighting software. And this, oh, by the way, this also has an RGB header, so this is 12 volts. for this one. So next, what I will be showing is a BIOS overview for this motherboard, as well as a quick benchmark using our Ryzen 3 3200G. So I'm back now and I have the board running now. So currently I am the BIOS section of the motherboard. Actually, there's nothing you can do much around in this BIOS because everything is locked out. By the way, I'm running the BIOS version 5007, so this is the latest BIOS for the A320M gaming as of the moment. So this supports the 3rd gen APUs, the 3200G and the 3400G. And as for the AI tweaker, what you can only do here is you can change the you can apply XMP profile for the memory. So for this, I can set the DOCP. So I can have here the DOCP DDR4. So this is my profile here. You can also set manually the memory frequency. Actually, I've tested this already and I was able to run my memory for as high as 2.8 stable just by changing the memory frequency while on my XMP profile. And as for the CPU voltage, though there's an offset mode, actually setting this one will not do anything, even the LLC, because everything is locked out. At the same time, you cannot you cannot change the clock speed for the CPU as well as the clock speed for your iGPU, which I think is very important for this APU, as overclocking the 3200G yielded a very high result in one of my testing. And at the same time, you can adjust the DRAM voltage at the same time. So I also changed this to 1.35. Then I think that's it. As for the advanced tab, in AMD CBS, actually everything is toned down. You cannot tweak on it. And as for the other settings, this is your standard motherboard settings. And again, you can set the RGB. Again, the RGB is this one. There, you can set that via the Aura software. And as of now, we'll set it to off once. We'll have it turned off once the system is off. Then again, I think that's it. So let's boot this thing up. So here we are in the desktop now. Unfortunately, with A320 chipset, does not also include precision boost overdrive. So we will just check on how high the boost for our processor can reach using this motherboard. Okay, let me just boot Cinebench. Let's close this thing. And let's open hardware monitor. You can choose hardware info if you want, but actually I'm okay with hardware monitor. So here's our results. So I got 576 CB for the Cinebench R15. Our clocks reaches as high as 3750 for all clocks, but single core boost goes as high as 3867. Temperatures using my stock rate cooler, we reach a 66 degrees on an open air test bench. And as for the voltage, we peak at 1.373 volts, so which is not bad. And now let's try running GPU test. So I'll be running superposition now. And by the way, in this motherboard, you cannot set your VRM, so it will automatically set it to 2 gigs. But it shouldn't be a problem, as if ever the system needs more VRAM, it will just get from the RAM itself, since it's using the same anyways. So we're back again, and we got a 2003 result. Our temperature is still peaked at 57 degrees, which is really good. And at the same time, VRMs are really cool too. So we have the sensor and DIMM pin 1 and 2 around 41 and 49 degrees Celsius. I really can't test the capacity of how hot it can get because I still don't have a Ryzen 7 on hand with me. Hopefully I can get one, and so I could test this one out. And I think that's enough for today's video. So if you like my video, go hit the thumbs up, and at the same time to subscribe to my channel for more unboxing and motherboard reviews. Once again, this is Brain of Junkyard Summit. Thank you, and see you in the next one.